All right, welcome back to the morning show right here on the Rise News channel. GTEx has just acquired a 40-acre property in Houston, United States, and upon completion, it will be the biggest green and smart estate in the U.S. GTEx major player, Dr. Stephen Akintayo, recently stepped down as the group CEO to take on the role of the chairman and has appointed 7 new group CEOs, 7 new CEOs to head up different subsidiaries. He'll be talking about why he made this move to become the GTEx chairman and also displaying the competence of the couple of the 7 newly appointed CEOs. We're now joined by Dr. Stephen Akintayo, Chairman, GTEx Holdings, Rana Ijaz, Group CEO, GTEx Holdings, and Farouk Usman, CEO, GTEx Homes. Let's go straight to it. We've watched the growth of GTEx Holdings over the years. Why has it become necessary to step down as the Group CEO to assume the advisory role of Chairman? And what prompted the choice of Mr. Rana Ijaz as Group CEO? Dr. Stephen Akintayo, great to have you. Can you talk more about that? And good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you, Rufai, Dr. Ruben. Good to be here. So for us over the years, we're a small company when we started, practically with 1,000 naira, bulk SMS, email marketing, and then expanding into real estate. And if you understand the world of real estate, finance is very key. As you scale up, funds and funding becomes a very, very important thing. Mr. Rana has had over 28 years as an investment banker. We're at a point where we need real capital. Our projection of building 25,000 green and smart homes, golf course, polo, retail, and all of that will gawk over 20 billion in the next 12 years. And so we need someone who understands, how to raise institutional funds globally, right? So, and that was one of the reasons why we felt we needed to bring somebody with that competence on board.
Okay.
Mr. Judge, congratulations on your appointment. But let me ask you, as an investment banker, what unique insights do you have or will you employ to pilot the affairs of a global real estate firm? And are there any similarities between investment banking and real estate? Where is the meeting point?
Yeah, thank you, sir, so much for having me. Actually, my background, I've been in corporate banking and investment banker for over 2 decades and been based in Dubai. So I have a quite diversified experience in dealing with the real estate and hospitality sectors. A few of the major names in the UAE, like Emaar, Damak, Arab Tech have been my clients. Investment banking actually is a unique way of tailoring financial solutions. So where a typical conventional funding is difficult sometimes, clients don't prefer that. So I've been very instrumental in shaping up those financial solutions, be it in capital market, be it a forward future contracts, be it a project financing. So this is what I've been doing over the years, and I think this is the meeting point between me and GTEx Holdings. And the company is in complete transformation phase and bringing in a corporate governance structure. And I think here, Dr. Stephen, as you heard him, he has stepped back as a CEO. So I'm here to take the company to the next level, putting up all the structure in place and arrange the necessary funding for our expansion phase.
All right. So as a young CEO with constantly expanding company, how does it feel to head a subsidiary of GTEx Holdings? Farouk, I'm coming to you on that.
Yeah, fantastic question. Thank you so much for having me. Well, for me, it just shows the kind of structure that we're having in GTEx Homes. I'm one of the young, vibrant, highly skillful emerging workforce that we have in GTEx Homes. And being a part of that society or that kind of company has quite been rewarding and challenging at the same time. But understanding that we have the kind of structure with Dr. Stephen Akintayo over 16 years in business and my group CEO, Mr. Rana Ijaz, who has over 28 years of experience in investment banking, I'm quite confident that we'll be able to achieve our goal of building 25,000 green and smart homes between now and 2035.
Well, let's come back to you, Dr. Akintayo. Your team is made up of 90% young professionals, and you now have 7 young CEOs for the subsidiaries. Are you not worried about their ability, level of exposure, and maturity to handle the pressures that are a huge part of operating in the business space?
Well, one of those seven is Mr. Ijaz, and he's not young in any ways, in his 50s.
You never know. He may claim that he's young at heart.
So what we've done is to, we also have C-suite executives as well who kind of have oversight function, and they are not that young. Some are in their 40s, 50s. I think that for me, it's high time for us to give young people opportunity. Yeah, some will make mistake. I mean, I'm young myself. And if some people didn't trust me with their investment, we won't even get the company to where it is today. And so for me is that if I could have come this far as a young person, not trusting young people wouldn't be wise on my part. And we are building a company that we believe will last hundreds of years. We want to break that barrier of companies ending their first or second generation. And so as a rule, we feel that strong corporate governance, bringing people on board, irrespective of religion, culture, race, is a critical thing. And the energy we need. I mean, look at how the expansion has been. We're in Dubai. We just acquired 40 acres here in the US. I'm currently in the US, and we just signed the whole deal a few days ago. And we're going to be building over 400 housing units in the US. And when completed, would be the largest green and smart home in the whole of US. So you need young energy to drive such growth. And of course, you then need wisdom. I've always said that whenever wisdom of elders meets with the strength of youth, miracles happen.
Exciting one there. Before anything else, GTX Holdings is a Nigerian-owned company. So do you believe, I mean, you understand the business space effectively so much, before you can operate in it? I'm talking to you, Mr. Rana, Ijaz.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. When I was offered this position, I was a bit skeptical, to be honest. There were a lot of concern about being in Nigeria and, about security and everything else. But what I have seen, I've been in the ground in September, and now I'm here for a month. It's completely safe. It's a buzzing business environment. Dubai Chamber just opened last week in office. I was in that meeting. Lagos of Governor and Dubai Chamber President were there. So I think Nigeria is in the phase where the complete change is happening. We could see that. A new government is determined to make those reforms, and investor confidence is coming back slowly. And in the short span of time, I have done extensive round of meetings with all the major Nigerian capital market players, investment bankers, regulators, including FMDQ, SEC, be it trust or rating companies. Because this is one of the purpose. We want to raise our funding in 2 phases. We will explore the Nigerian market, but we are not limiting ourselves because we're expanding globally. So I'm in discussion with a lot of investment banks in Dubai, Europe, and USA as well. So Nigeria is in the interesting phase at the moment. I could see a lot of potential, and Africa is the next big thing. All eyes on Africa because 200 million plus population, particularly in Nigeria, a lot of deficit of housing units. Imagine the potential. And I don't see there are so much industry players, and we are unique in our approach, futuristic and innovative. I think we're the first one building greener and smart homes, and we are taking the right step, I think, to meet the demands of the Nigerian population going forward.
Well, Farouk, let's come to you. A lot of real estate investments are not cheap. For the U.S. Jasper Estate Property, who are the intended clients? Say Nigerians in the diaspora, Nigerians living in Nigeria, or just anyone who can afford it?
Well, generally, for what we are doing, luxury real estate is actually not cheap. However, what we can do is to make it more affordable to people that can actually buy it. But for the U.S. investment, we actually have a diverse avatar of people that can actually invest in those properties. For Nigerians in Nigeria, based on my experience as a Nigerian, not to sound pessimistic, but it's always advisable to best against the Naira, right? So it's also important that as a Nigerian, you can diversify your investment portfolio so they're actually earning forex that can cater back to you here in Nigeria. Also for Nigerians in diaspora, whenever you find yourself in a foreign environment, for you to get a better stake, it's important for you to own a property there. So as US, we have Nigerians in the US and diaspora also, is also open for investment for them. And generally it's open for those that can actually afford the property. But it's also important to state that we take our KYC very serious to ensure that we know those people that we're actually building these things for. Because we are not just selling land or selling houses. We're actually building a vibrant community. So it's a particular type of person that we're expecting to be there so that we'll be able to ensure that we keep within the regulations of different financial bodies.
Okay, so $20 billion for 25,000 green and smart homes with commercial and tourism spots, still quite a big number. What's the plan to effectively raise that? And how do you plan, to raise it? Is it within or outside Nigeria, Dr. Akintayo?
Well, I think Mr. Rana should answer that. That's why he's been hired.
Okay. Yeah, the investment banker. Go ahead.
I would be very happy to take the weight, Dr. Stephen.
Okay.
Let me touch on it. I think for us we're definitely doing both, right? Outside of Nigeria is our major target. And people have asked me, why did you move to Dubai? Why did you move to the US? And I've said that you can't raise $20 billion in Nigeria. Let's be honest with ourselves. And a lot of these investors are not willing to come to Nigeria. For Rana to agree to pick up this job, his first visit to Nigeria was so scary. If I remember taking him to one of our estates in Abuja, I said, yeah, let's kidnap him now. And we all laughed over it that, yes, there are security issues, but it's not that tough. Because for him, once he Googled Nigeria, all he saw was red alert, don't go, travelers, be careful. So we realized that a lot of investors that would give us this kind of money wouldn't even want to come to Nigeria. So no problem. Why not demonstrate our competence in those countries, right? Today we control over 100 properties in Dubai. Now we have several smaller scale projects completed in the US. In the state of Georgia, we're currently selling 20 units of 3-bedroom townhouse. We have another unit coming up along in another state. Now with this one in Houston, Katie, it gives us an opportunity to meet with all these investors. After all, we are getting a lot of investment for these US projects. So to then convince them to say, yeah, but we have some bigger stuff we're doing back in Nigeria, and why not try it with us as well? Because we've done deals here, all right, they are more confident to try it, and that's really the approach.
Well, still for you, Dr. Akintayo, GTEX Holdings recently acquired a 40-acre property in the U.S., in Houston, Texas, precisely. Who is the target market for this? Because acquiring property outside Nigeria, that's no mean feat, I guess.
Yeah, so good news with U.S. market is very easy to do real estate. Funding is easy. For example, most of those who will be buying the houses we're building here, they just need to deposit 30%. We're going to get them a construction loan for 70%. And once we complete the houses, the construction loan will be converted to mortgage. And they will be able to, take another 30 years to complete that payment. So it's the issue of accessibility. Now, I've always said it oftentimes that real estate anywhere in the world is not affordable. But some countries make it accessible. In other words, the price range of the houses we're going to be selling is between $270,000 to about $400,000, 4-bedroom, 3-bedroom, and 5-bedroom in the Katy Jasper estate. However, you don't need to raise that entire money. You just need to deposit 30%. In fact, we're giving our investors 6 months to even deposit that 30%. Right. After that, we then help them get, and we have all the, institutions providing all this finance already set up. So you pay your 30%, you then over time, you get a construction loan. Once the house is completed in 18 months, so making 24 months in total, the construction loan is converted to a mortgage of another 30 years, and you move into your house, and owning a brand new house in America is not one of those easiest things, because most of the houses here, 20 years already, 30 years already. So you don't easily find brand new, newly built houses. And those kind of houses, the capital appreciation is always huge for that. But the good news is that we're open to everybody. Africans, non-African, we're going to be working with Keller Williams, one of the biggest, brokerage firm, to sell it. So they are selling to everybody, no matter where you come from. But people have an opportunity to also invest. We are now a SEC-approved fund in the U.S. Security Exchange Commission in the U.S. here. We set up a fund, meaning we can publicly raise funds towards that project. So currently we're raising about $10 million. People are free to invest in that and they get returns on investment while we use that fund towards the construction that will take another 5 to 7 years to complete the entire over 400 units we'll be building in the 40-acre.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. Thank you, Rana Ijaz, and thank you very much, Farouk Usman, for joining us on the morning show. Wish you all the best.
Thank you
with
for having
all
us.
the projects. Thank you very much indeed. Now,